Hi everyone, Kristen here, for those of you that don't know me, and we're here today to do the Pawanmuktasana Series 1, which is actually the Anti-Rheumatic group, and this is a practice where those of us that are dealing with circulation issues, stiff joints, arthritis, all of those things, rehab. Also, if you do a lot with your hands, so musicians, gardeners, maybe even people that work on the computer, even though this seems very non-vigorous, what it does is it opens up all the joints in the body so you have greater blood flow to all areas and therefore overall physical health. This is the first one of the 3-part Pawanmuktasana series. You may have heard me in the 26 and 2 series calling that the wind removing posture. So actually this is literally moving all of the wind, vata, air out of the joints. You hear all that crackling sometimes in your joints in Ayurveda. That's what we call the vata, or the air that's just kind of stuck in the joints. I would like to read what this series does, just so you have an idea. And oftentimes when we know the purpose of practice or what we're actually doing, then we just allow ourselves to get into it a little bit more. So the Anti-Rheumatic group. This group of asanas is concerned with loosening up the joints of the body. It is excellent for those debilitated by rheumatism, arthritis, high blood pressure, heart problems, or other ailments where vigorous physical exercise is not advised. It is particularly useful for eliminating energy blockages in the joints of the physical body, for improving circulation, coordination, self-awareness, and self-confidence. So I'll get into this, but you can just be focused on the movement. You can, if you've done some yoga before and are pretty in tune with your breath when you do your practice, you can add it to the physical exercise. And we're going to rest every so often, because sitting in staff or base position sometimes can be pretty demanding. We don't understand sometimes how just sitting can be pretty demanding on our body. You can use a rolled up blanket, and I have some blocks, I don't know that we'll use them, and a pillow or a cushion to sit on for sure, especially if you want to in the staff position. The rolled up blanket can also be a bolster or actually a rolled up mat. So there are a couple exercises that I'm just going to add to this, just so we have a little bit of warm up, and then I'm going to add just one restorative pose at the end before Shavasana. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and start in tabletop, our 4-point position. So we're on our hands and we are on our knees. And spinal health is really, really important in yoga, and hopefully we learn that from all of our instructors. It's also why Marjarasana, or cat and cow pose, is often seen in almost every single yogic practice, right? So you can be on the tops of the feet. However, if you need a stretch for the bottoms of your feet, go right ahead and tuck your toes. And a little bit different than just regular cat and cow pose. We're going to do everything 9 times today. So inhale, we're going to rise the spine up. As you exhale, press gently back towards your heels. Inhale, keep that angry cat lifted spine. Exhale, finish round 1, lowering the belly to the floor. Round 2, inhale, rise the spine. Exhale, back to your heels. Inhale, rise spine. Exhale, lower belly. 2, 3, inhale, rise. Exhale, set back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, belly down. Inhale. So always remember, when we feel out of control in life, right, we can always take control over our yoga practices. In other videos that I'm doing, you'll see some more powerful breath work. And even more powerful isn't really the right word, but we're just going to stay with long, slow, deep breathing. Make sure you have that concentrated control over your breath. So untuck your toes if they were, and pull back to child's pose. So as you pull back to child's pose, try to ground your third eye. And then without moving too much, we're going to keep the third eye on the floor. Feel free to watch. We're just going to start to circle, undulate in a circle. This is one of the Ganesh mudras, removal of barriers. Connects us to our root center, or Muladhara. So once you realize what we're doing, we're opening the femur bone as well as the sacroiliac joint. So child's pose, move in the right direction for 9 times. And after 9 rounds, switch direction to your left. All right, and that completes the added Kristen warm-up. So allowing yourself to come to staff pose, base position. And as we sit on our blanket or our cushion or whatever that is, it's just to help us remain supported throughout this series. So as you're ready, you'll go ahead and extend your legs. So as you come to extend your legs, you're allowing yourself the very first position. So try to sit with a tall spine, as tall as you possibly can. And then, so you can either just concentrate on the movement, but one thing about this series, the added power is actually concentrating on what you're doing. Not what's going on externalizing, right? What's going on with your feet. So from the ground up, feet to head is how we'll work this series. You can rest the hands down just wherever they're comfortable. You can also place them by your sides if you feel like you're really crashing forward. So inhale, you'll flex the feet. As you exhale, point your toes. So that is the movement. Inhale to exhale. So we'll start with 1 now. Inhale, exhale, 9 times. Okay, when for 10, go ahead and just shake out your knees. We're going to go ahead and do 2 rounds of that. If you want to draw your knees in, soles of the feet together, and allow yourself just to gently, what's called butterfly, just a matter of inch, maybe 3 inches at maximum, up and down. Once again, this will open up your hips. This will start to open up your lower spine. All right, so 1 more round of point and flex. And if you're having a big deal with this, right, you can always go on to your back. So prone, down onto your back. So just in case you have a problem ever with this position, then you're coming here, and then as you inhale, point, as you exhale, flex. All right, so always realize modifications are available to you. So finding back to your seat though, And then inhale 1, exhale 1. Full concentration on the feet. Inhale 1, exhale 1. Inhale 3. Yoga teacher can't count. Exhale 3. 6 more rounds. And let's go ahead and let it go with that. So since we have a little bit of a break as well as get a little inversion work, we'll go ahead and actually do the next one on our back. So unless you're already there, we'll go ahead and meet you there. As long as your pillow cushion is not too big, feel free to use that underneath your neck and your head, but not your shoulders. So go ahead and draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice little hug here. So that was more the feet. This one's going to be more for the ankles. So once again, all of the joints. That one added the toes. And this one, the toes are directing where you want them to go. So draw into your L shape, right? Allowing yourself to then bring the feet just a little bit apart. And then you're going to start to circle in your first direction. Full concentration on your ankles. Switch direction. Make sure that both feet are moving at the exact same rate. Note if one is slower or faster than the other. And notice how much heat you're starting to create in that small but very big and supportive part of the body, right? All right, yogi's choice, knees straight into the chest, or feel free to come to your happy baby pose. Remember, right, if you have a tense back, you can always just move from side to side. All right, round 2, so legs are up softly apart and then begin first direction. Your hands can be palms down by your sides. If you feel like you need extra support of the lower back, you can always lift it up and place your hands underneath you. Long, slow, deep breathing. And switch direction. All right, then it's up to you, knees into your chest or happy baby pose. Mantra, right? Yoga is self-care. As I practice yoga, I am doing something good for myself. It is not selfish. It is just good for your mind, body, and soul. Feel free to roll to the side and then lift your way back up to seated, or cross your ankles as you rock and roll back and forth on the spine. Remember, this is really good for the synovial fluid, as well as just pressing out the vertebra, giving them a little bit of a massage. So now we go ahead and move on to the knee joint. So this one we have to do from the base position of staff pose. So as you come to the base position of staff pose, let's go ahead and just for a moment gather that right knee in and then hug the top of the thigh really close to the belly, and then allow yourself to have a really straight spine. Make sure the head isn't winning over the heart, right? Protruding forward. Do yourself pull the chin towards the base of the skull if you've ever heard me say that. So then from here, allow yourself to interlace your fingers underneath your knee joint. Doesn't matter if your thumbs are up or underneath. And then inhale, draw the thigh in. Exhale, press the leg out straight. Inhale, draw it in 2. Exhale, press it out straight. Exhale, right leg down. Inhale, left knee in for a couple of breaths and just really hug the thigh towards the belly. Make sure, I didn't say this on the other side, that the base position, straight leg, foot is flexed, right foot flexed. All right, straight spine, puff the chest up and up, and then interlace your fingers behind the left knee. Inhale, you draw the knee in. Exhale, press the leg out. Inhale, draw it in. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, 3. And left side down, we are going to round through that one again 9-10 times. I've actually been going 10. So just bring yourself to Baddha Konasana, butterfly position. Go ahead and flutter the knees a little bit, or just keep them still. Rise the heart up. Nice gentle curve through that lumbar spine, nice and natural. And then let's go ahead and release back to Dandasana, base pose, staff position. That's also another way you can also start to lift your body weight up, right? So thinking about, you don't always have to lift your heels. That'll come over time. Also, it's really useful with the help of blocks. All right, so hugging that right knee in, find your tall, straight spine. Activated left leg, foot is flexed. Interlace your fingers behind your knee. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, draw it in. Place the right leg down, shake it out. And then allow yourself to draw the left knee in and nice and activate your right leg, flex the foot here. And then as you're ready, interlace the fingers behind your left knee. Exhale, draw down, inhale. And release, maybe feel your fold for a moment. Always remember too, this little cushion always helps forward folding, and don't push it too much. Remember, if you hang down low, this puts a lot of tension on your neck and on your sacrum. It's not always about looking pretty. All right, so knees come in, flutter them out just a little bit. This next one, do 2 directions on each side, and we'll just do 1 round, and we'll do the 2 directions on each side, and you'll use your pointer finger to guide the knee. So thinking about crossing your right ankle behind your left knee. If you need a little bit more space, then keep your right ankle on your left shin. So bringing it in, and here, just so we make sure we're going in a circle, point the index finger out. Left hand grabs a hold of that right heel. I don't know if you can see that. Just so you have another guided point, and then just start to circle for 10 rounds in the first direction. After your 10th or so round, switch directions. And last one, release. So it also helps you realize where you're stuck in the body. So I'm really stuck in my right hip right now, body getting used to those new screws. So thinking about drawing in that left foot behind the right knee or in front, the screws from my titanium rod that I just had surgery put in as my bionic femur. So thinking about how much space you need, right hand grabs the left heel and then hand over the kneecap, left index finger, just so you know you're moving in a circle. And then begin in your first direction, 9, 10, 11 rounds. Remembering, teachers just call out numbers. It's never perfect. Just if you feel like you're rushing at all, slow it down. Switch direction. And then just notice sensation, right? So then I'm really disconnected with that hip. So there's just no judgment, taking away all the shoulds, the wants, and the have-tos of practice, right? It just is what it is. Anytime you can lie back, child's pose is available to you, but this is the last one from this base position before we'll take a short intermittent shavasana. So allowing yourself to gather your right leg in again, and then the hand will be supportive in two different ways in this movement. As you inhale, draw that right knee up and in. If you want a little bit more, you can twist. As you exhale, press it down, maybe look over your left shoulder. Inhale, start to draw it in. Exhale, draw it down, 9 to 10 rounds. Exhale, full and complete. Right leg extends its way out. Shake it out if you need to. And then gather your left leg in. So if you need more space below the knee, if you can, then draw it behind the knee. So now the left hand outside. Inhale, look over your left shoulder. Exhale, press it down and away. Inhale, draw it up and in. Couple practice rounds. Exhale, draw it down and away. Now go for 9 or 10. And release. So you can always pause this now if you enjoyed that movement and feel like you need another round. Go right ahead and pause and do that one more time. And if you're ready for an intermittent shavasana from our lower back body, or our lower body to our upper body, then go ahead and just lie back as you are. Or you can come to 2 supported fish poses and allow yourself to align the blanket with the base of the spine. Notice I'm not lifting the glutes up and off of the floor. I'm just allowing myself to lie back on this blanket, which should support the head, and you may need a couple little adjustments. But then allowing yourself heels in, toes out. You might even tick-tock, rainbow the feet from side to side. This helps the hip translate to the knee, translate to the ankle. Sometimes we have a hard time in balance because we've had an old injury, something conscious or subconscious. We're stuck in one of our 6 lower joints: right hip, right knee, right ankle, left ankle. And since they're all connected, it can sometimes translate into a harder time balancing until we work with them all enough to get them all working together. Concentrate on the ingoing and the outgoing breath. Try not to check out like Shavasana, just still. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Maybe feel the breath to the throat space. Exhale, chest falls, belly falls. Inhale, belly rises, chest rises. Exhale, chest falls, navel falls. Maybe even keep your eyes open at this point, making sure that you're blinking slow. And if you find you're blinking fast, allowing yourself to slow it down. And then if you are on your blanket, allowing yourself to cautiously lift your way up. You can also roll over to the side and gently push the blanket out of the way. And then coming to a cross-legged seat, little undulation through the spine, belly, and your hips is called the Sufi grind. Hands or palms down on your knees. And then just start your first direction, getting some blood flow through the body. Inhale to your exhale. And then switch direction the other way. It doesn't matter how many rounds. Just trying to get a little bit of movement. The more you press down on your inner knees, the more you're going to open your hips. And sometimes if we can't do what's called pigeon, actually half pigeon in some classes, it's a great way to open up the hips. And it's not super available to me, right? But you can always switch which leg is opposite in front as you switch direction. All right, starting to move to our upper body now. So as we move to our upper body, you can be kneeling, which is really hard for me at this point. You can be in cross-legged seat, or if you still want the challenge of your Dandasana base position, then you can have the legs extended. So I'll leave it up to you, any of those modifications. And here we'll hold the arms out directly from the shoulders, and our palms will go ahead and be face up. And then as you inhale, rise it up. Exhale, lower and open the wrists. Inhale up. Exhale, open. If your fingers want to coil in, let them coiling in towards the wrists. Exhale, lower, about 5 more rounds. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, draw down. Last one, inhale, exhale, and then release, right? So just whatever you need to do through the upper body. Remember, as I always say in normal classes, right? The arms are the extension of the cardiovascular system, right? So we're breaking up. We're doing that spring breakup of the upper body. So same things, now palms are face down. So your inhale, you rise your fingertips up. Exhale, point your fingertips down. Inhale, rise your fingertips up. Exhale, lower your fingertips down. A few more rounds. Concentrating exactly on what your fingers are doing. Full concentration, love going to your wrists. Thanking your wrists, your forearms, your hands, fingers for all that they do. Release. Sometimes it's a test of stillness, coming to a still position without fidgeting. If you feel like you need a shoulder roll, roll the shoulders. If you need to move the neck, then move it, right? But then think about sometimes just standing the test of stillness, finding that little bit of peace. Maybe just still that concentrated breath. It's a good series to drop into meditation, supplement your normal practices every day, or make it your daily practice, right? If you deal with rheumatoid arthritis, if you deal with poor circulation, if you don't want to be weight bearing on all of your joints. All right, so a yogic fist is thumb inside the forefinger. So once again, thumb inside the forefingers. Once again, draw your way out, and now arms straight out of the shoulders. You start to move the wrists, fists in one direction. If you're rushing, slow it down. Make sure that one isn't chasing the other, both hands going in the same exact pace. And consciously switch direction. And then release stillness, or maybe small movements through the body. Remember, you can always take a pause and lie down onto your back space if you need to. Let's go ahead and take a little twist to our left, little twist to our right. And then moving on from wrists to elbows. So same thing, starting position. Notice that I have pretty much a little bit of give in the elbow. I'm not hyperextending it out, right? There's just a gentle, gentle give. Palms are face up. And then our next one is fingertips touch the tops of the shoulders. And then exhale, you extend. Inhale, fingertips to tops of the shoulders. Exhale, extend. 9, 10, 11 rounds. Exhale. If you're seated like me, you can change the staff position. You can always come kneeling, or if you have the availability, just remember right now I don't, you can go ahead and switch the cross and the legs just for a little bit more balance. So this is good for old shoulder injury, right? For me, I like this series because I used to be a fast pitch pitcher and I threw out my rotator cuff. So this is really, really good for opening up those shoulders. Sometimes we don't even know how we mess up our joints, we just do. So 4 fingers forward, thumbs come back. As you exhale, try to touch your arms in front of you. Inhale, rise, go back, exhale. You can undulate through the spine a little bit more as it allows. Keep going, 9, 10, 11 rounds. Exhale, inhale. Elbows come to touch, switch direction, go back and touch elbows in front. Inhale, exhale. Finish your round, hands come down, relax. And remember, drishti point is just focused on one point anywhere in front of you as you come more and more into the meditation. Alright, so our last one before our restorative fish and shavasana. So this is Gulf Chandra. So circling the neck, nice and consciously begin the first direction. Consciously switch your direction. center. Close your eyes. Gently opening your eyes, twist to the left, twist to the right, two more. Alright, coming off your seat, bring a cushion, blanket to the side. And pre-shavasana, once again, supported fish pose. Bringing that blanket or bolster or rolled up mat to the base of the spine. Rolling yourself down vertebra by vertebra. Head is fully supported, and then continue your conscious breathing here. It's not quite shavasana. Uplifted chest, relaxed spine, but you can close your eyes. Challenge yourself to make the breath 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds longer than when you're in moving asana. After your next exhale, rolling off your prop to the side. And say you have a blanket, you're more than welcome to place this blanket over the hips. They've actually done a lot for us in this series or practice. And then allow yourself to come lying down in full shavasana. Eyes are closed, disengaging from even the breath, allowing yourself to return to the natural, automatic, and effortless breath. Jaws relaxed, eyes are closed, dropping into the space behind them. you swallow, begin to deepen your breath. As I take time for yoga, I take time to care for myself. Begin to make small movements through the fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. And maybe legs come together, arms stretch, stretch, stretch deeply, deeply overhead. Full body stretch, stretch from fingers to toes. And when you're ready, draw your knees into your heart space. I want to remove the blanket, maybe you like it there. Hug those knees, thighs, into the chest. Also, do me a favor and feel the nice straight spine on the floor. Cervical spine is straight. At least the imagination of the tailbone is touching. And then go ahead and rock over to your right side. Staying there for just a moment, a full exhale or maybe a full breath. Waiting for your inhale, rising your way up using your top arm, and then coming to your final seated place. So feel the energetic long spine. Grateful for all the work that you've done. It's hard work, right? Concentrated on our small but also big joints of the body. So thank you for your time today. Till next time, let's take final 2 breaths together. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, thumbs to heart space. Inhale, final breath in. And as you exhale, bowing forward and down. Namaste. The divine in me honors the divine in you. See you later.